Hello, everybody. You see, I usually say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, just get that screen sorted. But I think the best way is to say hello because you never know when you're gonna look to that to this video. You never know when what time is where you're looking from. It can be in the middle of the night. It can be evening. Can be um, in the morning. As you can see from the lighting around me, it's either early in the morning or late at night. So what I want to talk about today, it's the one thing that makes a difference. And today it's Saturday. And the one thing that I want to make a difference is how and I spend my time today. And instead of going out and partying, I've chosen to talk about the one thing. And this presentation, I had put it forward to other people before, and you might have seen it before. The thing is that when you remind yourself and reconnect to the things that you have done, it might be an easier way to understand how it works. So I created something which is talking about the one thing. And we go through many things in our lives, many things that we do. This is where we lost. We lost our focus. Um, we lose the things that we do, and we lose the things that we create. So, the one thing that I want to talk about today is what is your one thing? Because I want to talk about today about the multitasking. I want to talk about the distractions because those are the norms right now. We are surrounded by so many things. We're surrounded by so many distractions. Social media, lots of tasks, family, things that we need to do at our house, and we lost our focus. And this is where we need to understand the more focused you are, the more successful you're going to get. So that's why it's so important to identify what's the one thing that matters the most and creates the most and brings the most, because that's what the one thing they need to prioritize above anything else. And that's why one thing is important. So, where is your focus right now? Ask yourself these questions. How many things are you doing right now? How many tabs do you have currently open on your device? You know, Steve Jobs used to say, a successful person is the one who embraces single tasking. Because when you focus on one thing, you're going to get more. When you focus on one thing, which mainly it's you, and that's not because you're selfish, because it comes from selfless. It comes from the things that you do for you to bring to other. That's where you're going to get more. So Steve Jobs was a successful person because he embraced the single tasking. And that's why you're looking on the things that create that domino effect. You look at the things that extraordinary things that you do, they create that results, and those are directly determined about and how or by how you change yourself and how you change your focus. How, you know, it's like a snowball effect. You start with a little thing and then you add more into it. And the domino is the same thing. You're knocking down one domino and it leads to the fall of many others. It doesn't matter how small that thing, that one step, it just goes to the next one. And success, it's built on success, step by step. That's why it's so important to be grateful and be and celebrate every little things that we do, because it's not about, oh, I'm going to celebrate in 10 years time or in a year's time when I'm going to do things right. No, you celebrate every day that you do it. Because imagine you're doing, I don't know, let's go physical here. Imagine you do 10 push-ups every day for 365 days. How do you think you're going to look comparing to now in 365 days from now? doing 10 push-ups a day. So what's the one small action you could take today to create that domino effect? What are you going to push in your life? What are you going to do to get there? Because the focusing question is this, and I will say this probably many times: what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier and everywhere else will be unnecessary? And I love that one, the one thing book, because it's very connected to this presentation. Because this is where you break down the areas. What's the one thing that I want to achieve in my personal life? What's the one thing that I want to achieve in my work? What's the one thing I need to achieve on my relationship, on my health, on whatever that thing is in your mind? Because the power of clarity and simplicity, it's answering this simple question: what's the one thing? And then write it down. Write down that one thing that for every chosen area of your life, and then focus on that. Because when you focus on that, small focus creates big difference, brings more results. So this is where we get our mind to think about so many things. And one of it is like, I won't be able to do this. I'm not a morning person. I cannot focus on one thing. And I put like 6 lies that derail our success. Everything matters equally. Wrong. Not everything matters equally. Imagine if banging your head against the door matters, or imagine opening the door and walk through it. Which one matters the most? And when we have so many times, like people saying, "Oh, I'm so good because I can multitask. I can do many things." You can. That's not the issue. But how focused are you on that? Are you 100% focused on that? Really? Seriously? Come on. And imagine about that disciplined life that leads to success. Discipline is one thing amongst other. You need commitment, you need clarity, you need focus, you need alignment, and you need all of this to put in one thing. Or that, like, you have always have willpower. You don't have always willpower, but when you have the one thing in your mind, that's things that are changing. When that's where more things are bringing together. Another lie is like a balanced life. It's achievable. Well, you can achieve balanced life, but you're definitely not going to achieve amazing results. You're not going to be unstoppable. You're not going to be the greatest version of yourself. Because if you're balanced, it means you're imbalanced in the same time. Balancing what? 50-50? Or I'm going to be 50-50 on my work, 50-50 at my in my personal life. Which one you want to be? You want to give 50% to your partner and 50% to your work, or you want to give 100% to your partner and 100% to your business, or your work, or whatever you are? Think about this. You need to learn how to be in balance, if that makes sense. So be 100% at work and be 100% at home. It's really that simple. Or what are the? I think this is the biggest lie I've heard. Go big. It's bad. Stay small. Play small. Go slowly. Yeah, go slowly, but think big. Play big. Want big. Big is not bad. Big is great. You know why? Because you're gonna learn so many things. You're gonna do so many things. And I want to ask I want you to ask yourself this question: which of these lies do you currently believe that affect your life right now? And think about it, write it down, make that change. And you know, build a habit that will give you that extraordinary result. It's going to make you unstoppable. It's going to want to be unstoppable. Be you. Because when you focus on building those habits around one thing, that's where the consistency comes in. That's where discipline kicks in. Because consistency over time creates mastery. And it takes about an average about 66 days to form a habit. I like to do it in 90 days to make sure it stays there. I want to do it for the rest of my life. It's a good habit. But habits, they'll be challenging at first, but they'll get easier with time. And the more you keep at it, the more you got it. This is going to be weeks, months, but they'll make a difference. They'll become second nature as long as you keep at it. Just remember, minimum 66 days. 90 days, brilliant. And I want you to think about this. What's your one thing? What is your focus on, and expand on it? I want you to just remove any distractions of your life. I want to starve them to death. And I want you to feed your focus in the same time. If you focus on your health, remove anything that it's not healthy for you. If you focus on your business, write down the plan. Choose one habit you will focus on for the next 66 days, and then let's talk about it. Because I'm right here if you need me. I'm right here if you want to be unstoppable. Because I know how that can change. How that one thing can make a difference in your life. And one thing for me which I learned and I mastered that, it's using my time right. Because I have so many people saying like, how can you do so many things in the same time? Well, like, I'm not doing many things at the same time, but I'm very disciplined and very committed to my time. So me utilizing my time, because when you dedicate yourself to something and uninterrupted for a while to that thing, is going to make a difference. When you commit yourself to that thing and block it, you don't need to start with a long, start with 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour a day. But this is where you need to learn what time of the day you are most productive. And can you block that time for one thing? Because you need to trust that process. You know, this is like an emergency. You cannot take away from it. You cannot move away from it. So block it there and do it every day, because that's the only way which is going to lead you to that path, to the extraordinary path, to the one to show you that you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be you. You're going to become unstoppable. Because success is not about being busy. This we think about doing business, but we are actually business. We are in the business because we are so busy, but we get nothing. And all the business, it's about being focused, it's about results, it's about identifying and committing to that one thing, the one that aligns with your action, the one that aligns with your goals. And remember, the one thing is the best thing you can do right now. And I will end up with this, which I'm going to tell you one thing. The one thing that you take away from this presentation is that extraordinary results and becoming unstoppable comes from focusing on what truly matters for you, not for others. Because the journey begins with one thing. What is that one thing for you? Think about that. Happy to have that conversation. And let's see how you can become unstoppable and move forward to the next level. To you, be unstoppable, be great, be focused. It's one thing. Thank you.